You are now streaming.
You are now streaming.
It says I'm streaming. Whether Twitch decides I'm streaming or not is going to be the big question.
Mm-hmm.
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 You can do it, Twitch.
You can do it.
It says we went live. I refreshed the thing. There it is. I see it now. Hello, chat room.
I see a triple T streaming.
Dun, 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 dun.
They are gonna read a letter. Gonna give some advice now.
Dun, 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 dun.
And gonna slash moo all the way.
Don't go home tonight.
Oh, wait. It was like, I see a slash moo horizon.
I
Ooh.
see a slash moon rise.
Ah,
Somebody needs to start taking notes for a Paradise song.
that's what I'm doing right now. Da, 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 da.
Oh, that's awesome.
Even like clip it to be a little, almost like a bump.
Yeah. Exactly.
We could bump it.
Bump it up. All right, let's get this tweet out there.
Bump up the jam, bump it up.
Bottom, bottom, and bottom.
Ba-doom, 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 ba-da-da-da-da. We actually did that in trombone choir one year,
Oh yeah.
and it's like a big it's like 8 or 10 trombones that are doing it, but only one bass trombone gets to do the whole ba-doom, 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 and like a solo. And my teacher looked at me. He's like, "You're doing that one." I was like, "Yes,
Yay.
thank you."
That's a fun one.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that video I tweeted out the other day of a guy playing trombone to the Hearthstone theme? No, Hearthstone Overwatch theme.
No, I saw that you had tweeted it, but I was on the road at the time, and so I didn't have the opportunity to listen to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
After show, give it a listen, because I know everybody out in the chat room might appreciate it as well.
Yeah, we'll have to link it
Because
to
it
the
is
chat room.
so good.
That's so cool.
And I followed that guy for the past few years, and he puts out some great stuff.
And then he went into your
Aloha,
wheelhouse.
Zafira. Huh?
Then he went into your
yeah.
wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Well,
like Overwatch stuff.
Yeah, he does like a monthly Reddit request, and that was the one that came out last month, I think,
That's
was
awesome.
Overwatch.
Hi, Safira
Overwatch.
and Erlina. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday / move.
Happy Thursday to you. Two Orions. It's Art. Hi, sweetie. How are ya? It's good to see you. Do, 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 do. Hello, Solo Mio. Solo Mio. I always think of that whenever I see your name. I just went, oh, Solo Mio.
Kind of have to, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Oh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I'm kicking up my energy because I don't have it. It's like I'm on the fumes this week.
Uh-huh.
We got home on Sunday, and on Monday we were up working again and hit around noonish, and I was just like, oh, I am done. Like, I am so tired. And Pat was like,
take a nap, please?
I know. I was exactly like that. I'm like, I have to take a nap. I am so tired. You have no idea. And so Pat's like, yeah, I'm kind of tired too. I'm going to go take a break. I laid down and I woke up at 3:30. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
whoa, okay, I guess I was tired.
It's almost dinner time.
I know. Yeah, we had not. We didn't sleep a lot. We were up early. We were running around all over the place. The travel home was kind of sucky. So,
Uh,
yeah, so it was like by the time we got home, and then I was like, we got home and I had stuff to do right when I got home. And so it's just like, just, I want to
can't
sleep.
even can't even sit down for a rest.
Yeah, and so I've been trying to go to bed at decent hours and I'm not succeeding because I keep having stuff that's going on. So it's
Yeah.
like tonight I was just like this afternoon I'm like you got to do this. You got to make it through the afternoon and it was just like come on. I can do this. I can do this. I'm so tired, but I'm going to do this. Oh, so much.
Oh man.
I'm looking forward to sleeping in this weekend.
Me too. Very much so.
And then I'm like but the HGC Western Clash is here and it's in Poland, which means it starts at 5 a.m. my time tomorrow morning.
Oh. Oh.
I know.
That's early.
I hate watching VODs too. I really do. I like watching it live.
Hmm.
So, I'm still debating if I'm getting up or not because I really
Well,
want
I
to
could
see.
I could always text you because I usually get up at 5:30. I was like, wake up, Joe. It's time to watch some HGC.
Well, you're not working tomorrow, are you? You're off
Nope,
tomorrow.
I am. But if the rest of the week is any indication, I'm going to wake up at 5:23 a.m. on the dot
Really?
because yeah, the past four days I've woken up at the exact same time without an alarm. It's like 10 minutes before or 20 minutes before my alarm actually goes off.
That is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
It is so the
And
worst.
I was like, why does my body clock just automatically set to that? I have no idea.
Hmm.
And I don't like it because I'd rather sleep the extra 20 minutes. I was like,
Yeah.
just let me sleep, please.
You gotta just go back to
Please.
and then when you go back to sleep, you're probably hitting the middle of a sleep cycle when your alarm is actually going off, which is
Hmm.
oh, yuck.
It is very yuck, but at least I can kind of try and at least go back to sleep after 5 o'clock tomorrow, maybe. We'll
Yes.
see.
Yes.
If not, I'll be on WoW going after a mount or something, like I do.
Like you do.
Yeah, Fridays are like my relaxed day with YouTube going on the other monitor and just kind of playing games and doing whatever. So I love my Fridays for that reason.
Fridays are
And
nice.
Logan tomorrow.
Are you going tomorrow?
Either tomorrow or Saturday. I'm
Okay.
hoping tomorrow because I really, really, really want to see it.
It sounds like it's amazing from all the
But
reviews.
that's what I've heard. Have you seen the new Guardians of the Galaxy 2
Oh,
trailer?
yes. It's so good.
Oh,
So, so good.
that.
I saw and I read something someone posted, I don't even know where, and I can't tell you where. And they said it's been rare that it's such an anticipated movie. There's been a couple of trailers out now, and yet you still have no idea what the plot is, and that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't know what they're actually doing in this movie. You just know that it looks really, really cool.
Yeah. And it's I mean I kind of know what's going on because I know about some of the other characters that are in it they've shown on the trailers, but I've purposefully made sure I stay away from plot details and spoilers and all that mess
Yeah.
because I love being there and experiencing. I love to be blissfully ignorant until the moment at which it's revealed.
Yeah.
I love surprises for that reason.
Because, how many times, I mean, you go to the theater a lot, so you see a lot of
Hmm.
previews, and a lot of times those previews are exactly what the movie plot is.
Yeah.
The entire movie just got exposed to you in a 30-second, or a 45-second trailer. And it's like, well, what's the point of me paying money to go see this movie? Because you just told me everything.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
I think that the ones that are doing the series for Guardians of the Galaxy really get it. They're not exposing anything in terms of the major plot. And I think it helps now that we know the characters, and so we know the interactions between the characters, which means that some of the really good lines are there and they're funny. So
Oh yeah. And there's going to be even more in the movie. It's going to be so good. I
I'm s-
love all the little things, and I love that they put Fleetwood Mac to that trailer too. It's perfect.
it's really
It's
good.
perfect.
Uh,
Uh,
it's really good.
yeah, I hate it when the trailer's better than the actual movie too. And I've
Yeah.
had that. I've had that happen many a time.
Yep. They've done a really good job marketing it and a really crappy job editing it. It's
Yeah.
like, yep. can you get the guys who did the trailer to do the editing? That'd be great.
You just like do the whole. Well, I heard that they that the people who the company that did that really awesome trailer for Suicide Squad was brought on to edit the whole movie, and that's the reason why the first half hour looks like a just jumbled mishmash of trailers because trailer people made it. And so that's why it's like all these splash like text cards next to all. It's like a roster, which I liked. I thought it was cool. Did you see Suicide Squad?
I did not see it. I should.
It's good. I mean, it's worth seeing. It's not the best. The plot, don't worry about it. But just enjoy the movie. Just enjoy the spectacle of it and the characters.
Yeah.
Made for the most part.
Yeah. Awesome.
So I love Margot Robbie as what's her face, Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. Yeah.
And she did a good job. Real good job.
Your lagged out just for a second there. So hopefully everything is good.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll stick around.
Yeah. We'd like you to stick around, please.
I would like to stick around for the show, please.
Please, we would like this because I don't like talking to the void.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Speaking of talking to the void.
Yeah.
Hey, chat room, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready for a show? Please let us know.
Speaking of which, did you get a package in from New Mexico yet?
I have heard that there is one. It was actually sent to Pat's house because I've had problems with packages at my place. So yes, he told me that it arrived today, and I did not go by to pick it up. So
okay, because
yes.
I got one too.
Awesome. I knew that we were getting something, but I didn't know when and what. So
yeah, it was a surprise to me. I was like, who do I know? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so I haven't opened mine
Cool.
yet. I have to get it tomorrow.
May have to talk about that at a later date on a show or something.
Definitely. Looks like they're look at that. Looks like they're ready. Looks like they're prepared. They're good to go. Marconin, are you ready for a show?
Yeah, I think we should go ahead and do a show. Yeah, I mean, I'm here, you're here. I mean, we got a couple people watching. I mean, it's almost like it's time for a show or something. So we might as well go ahead and just at least try.
I think we can give it a good try. We've only done it for 221 episodes. Well, 220 before today. So,
yeah, we might be all right.
What the hell?
We'll be okay.
What the hell? Let's just do it.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
All right, we'll start this shindig out in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the podcast about the Blizzard gamer behind the keyboard.
It's episode 221 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Thursday, March 2nd of 2017. My name is Jules, and Marconin is making faces on the other side of the camera, which is something that I missed because we weren't here last week. And I'm sorry about that, but I was in Florida doing a lot of cool stuff, which we'll tell you about in a little bit. Again, my name is Jules. With me, as always, is my friendly neighborhood co-host. His name is Marconin.
I missed your face too, Jules. It was weird having a Thursday night without you.
I know. It was very weird. Thursdays have become this, it's the known commodity. And then I was on the East Coast, which kind of messed my schedule up because I was an hour ahead of what I'm used to. And I'm like, oh, this is when I would be, no, I'd already be doing the show by now. Okay, yeah, okay. Like, my brain was not wrapping around where I was and what I was doing, but it was a lot warmer where I was than it was in Minnesota.
How warm was it down there? Because it was actually really warm here as well, because we've had a lot of really warm temperatures the last week or two.
Average daytime temperatures were getting up to about 80, 81, 82.
Nice.
Yeah. And then when we arrived on Wednesday, it was pouring rain, which was kind of a nightmare because we were trying to find our way to get to the hotel, and we had to take an Uber to get there. So it was like you couldn't tell like where you were because it was dark and raining. And then as it turned out, we actually went through like one of those rental places like Airbnb. This one is VRBO. We went through and rented a
Oh
condo,
yeah.
a 2-bedroom condo, so that it was easier for Pat and I, and cheaper for Pat and I to stay in the same place, but each have our own
Oh yeah.
bedroom. And so I had all of the check-in paperwork with me, but I didn't notice that it said you had to go to a different property to check in than the one,
Oh
than the one that we were staying at. Like, I wouldn't have thought of that.
yeah.
so,
Uh-oh.
so we take the Uber over. Guy drops us off. He doesn't say very much to us at all. We drop off. We get in there like, oh, you've got to go over to this other property, and we're like, and she's like, oh, you can just take another Uber over there. I'm like, do you realize that it's pouring rain outside and we've been traveling all day? Yay. So, but we get another Uber. The guy's super nice. He's like, oh, I'll just wait for you guys. No problem. He waits for us. We get back and everything's fine. But we've got to walk from the main building down 4 buildings away in the pouring rain. Yeah.
Yep. Ugh.
And then it's almost like it's 8:30, 9 o'clock. We haven't eaten food. We have no car. So, like, what the hell are we going to do for food?
Did you order pizza?
How about something called Uber Eats, which is what I was like, oh, well, we'll just do this. I am not a big fan of Uber recently, but they were the only, we couldn't even take Lyft from the airport. They would not pick up at the airport. So it was either taking a cab or it was taking Uber. So we had food delivered to the condo, ate, and passed out. It was like, we're done. So that was our day 1. But the rest of the time, it was beautiful outside. It was really, really nice, gorgeous weather. I was very much a fan of the nice weather in Orlando. So.
Oh, yeah. And you got to see both extremes of Florida. Well, the 2 types of Florida weather, really nice and sunny and warm, and absolute pouring torrential rain.
Oh, and it was like that's a lot of rain, man.
Someone just constantly dumping a bucket on your head.
Yes.
It is nuts.
Yep.
I mean, even when I was growing up, we would go to Florida every once in a while, and it rains a lot.
Yeah.
And my grandmother called it liquid sunshine because it's a sunshine state, but that's the liquid sunshine right there is the rain. It's like, oh, all the sunshine, but it's always raining. So you kind of get best of both worlds in that.
It's true. And a lot of people use the term liquid sunshine, which I found really amusing. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, so Pat Crane and I were there for a podcasting conference. And we wound up actually getting a car. We actually wound up renting a car because it was like we were so far away from where we were staying. Like, it wasn't terribly far away, but there was no way we could walk there. So we're like, all right, we'll get a car rental and just do that thing, which turned out to be the best idea ever because we drove all over the place and wound up seeing a couple of the theme parks thanks to some very generous fans who actually work at these theme parks and were able to get us in for free, at least for one of them. So yeah, that was really awesome. Universal Studios was really fun for that. And I had a blast. The conference, it was okay.
Was it just okay?
Well,
because I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it.
You haven't had a chance to talk to me about it. So here's the thing. The conference itself was focused around, it was like a meetup that was built into a conference around the people who run the Florida Podcasters Association. So very, very local group of people that have grown into a larger group. And so the general theme through the whole thing, though, was there were a lot of people there who knew each other, and they knew each other really well. And they've been through a lot together, and they've spent a lot of time together. And anybody who wasn't part of those inner circle people, like me, and Pat, and a bunch of other people who were there, felt really kind of like left out. Not included as part of the inner circle. And so it was a little tough because like the stuff that they were like, it was just like, you know, they had all these inside jokes in their presentations, and they were all laughing, and the rest of us are like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's kind of like when I went to Nerdtacular and I sat in on a couple of the panels, like the morning stream, and they're talking about stuff, and I hadn't listened to any of it at that point, and everybody's laughing, and I'm like, what? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just kind of smile and nod and like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that joke.
And I think that when it comes to a fan conference like what you went to for Nerdtacular, like that kind
Hmm.
of makes some sense. Like if you're in part of,
Yeah.
you're understanding the content, you've been a fan of the content, all that stuff. But when you're coming there to learn, and to be taught or, to get contacts with people, it's a little bit like you're part of this or you're not part of it. So that was the strange thing.
Yeah.
That was like probably the strangest thing of the whole thing. But they had a really valuable thing that they did on the very first day, the first evening, where they called it speed networking, and it was
Oh,
literally like
yeah.
sitting at tables with a bunch of people, giving out your business card, doing an introduction. You meet everybody at the table, and then you move to another table.
Yeah. Just like speed dating. Yeah.
Yes, it's just like speed dating, but it's networking instead.
Yeah.
They
That's
give
cool.
you questions that you're supposed to answer, so it's not like awkward for you to just sit there and just talk. Like you have to say like, "What's your podcast?" and then some kind of random answer that you're gonna, question that they give you. And I met some really cool people doing that, which was amazing because I am not the most comfortable just walking randomly up to people, introducing myself and saying hi. I
Yeah,
like
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I like that format. So during that session, I met this really cool lady. Her name is Lisa Hutteman, and she runs a website and a podcast about finding your perfect job. And I heard her introduce herself, and I was like, I like what she has to say. And she talked about how people want to go to work and be happy, and that so many people don't. And that's what they do. And they do a podcast, they have a business. And when we got done with that session, I walked up to her and I said, I would like to talk to you on my show. And she was like, that would be awesome. And I'm like, well, we're a bunch of gamers. I just want you to understand that. And she's like, I don't know anything about gaming, but I said, that's okay. And so I went out on Twitter, I went into Discord, and I asked the audience, hey guys, would you like to hear from someone who does this? And you guys went like screaming from the rooftops, yes!
Yes. Yes,
So
please.
like so excited. So I immediately set up the time with Lisa, and she's going to be here next week. She's really super nice. I think it's going to be a really beneficial interview. So we won't have our normal show format next week. This is going to be a very informative session of interview with Lisa and getting information about when you don't know how to find what you're trying to do with your career, and how to make your workplace more exciting and all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. So that was a really good find, right?
Yeah, that was a really good find. I'm actually very interested in next week's
I
show
know
as
you
well.
are. I know you are. Some of the panels were not as informative. Some of them were not as great. I know how hard it is to put on those presentations, those conferences. So you can't have a winner with every single one of them. But we, I would say we had some value out of going. But mostly it was just awesome to be around other podcasters and talking with them, and like people who have no idea what gaming is, and I'm so used to being surrounded by people who get it, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
we're used to it all.
we're totally used to it. Like anytime we've gone to conferences or meetups, like there's people there who are gamers, and so there it was like the closet gamers. It was like sometimes you'd say, hey, Pat or I would say that we do a gaming podcast, and then that person would just light up like a tree and be like,
Uh-huh.
what game? I used to game. I do game. But it was like, this was like a business conference with the
very like suit and tie and
yeah, like people are suit and tie. Pat and I are like t-shirt and jeans, like we don't care because it's, and they're all wearing their business casual or their ties and their nice shoes. And I'm just like, like, I don't care. I'm not here to impress you on my business prowess. We don't do that. So,
not who we are.
right, exactly. So it was pretty funny. The really cool thing we had too was a meetup that was put together by the people who do the Orlando WoW and Blizzard meetup group.
Sweet.
So we were able to, there were probably about 15, 16 of us there. Got to see some long time convert to raid members, people I've raided with, people I've hung out with, people I've worked at, but I've never met them.
Yeah.
Navox and his wife Lisa, Devona, who I've raided with. We've played Overwatch with him. Part Shark, who I've worked with many, many times on stuff related to the guild. Marissa, I talked to her in guild. Like these people who we've been like friends with, friends talking, that kind of thing, but never met each other for 4.5 years. And suddenly we were able to finally see each other. It was really fun. Root and Freckleface from the Hearthcast podcast were there running the whole thing, and they were great. And it was super nice not to have her run a meetup for a change.
I know. I was about to say, how did that feel? Being
felt
100%,
so good.
100% free of any obligations or duties.
It was literally me just coming over and just sitting down and having a good time with people and not have to worry about anything. It was really it was so nice.
Oh yeah.
So
just sit back, relax. You've got this.
You got this. You got this. We had a really nice time, and the venue that we were at was like super uber duper nerdy, and it was great.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cool. We didn't even see the upstairs. It was like there's an arcade upstairs, and we didn't even go to it because we were just talking with each other so much. So yeah, it's been a week. So that's why we had no show last week, is because I was in Orlando doing all that. And while I was away, Marconin was doing... What were you doing anyway?
Well, I know we haven't had a show since the end of the Love is in the Air thing. I did not get the rocket, sadly.
He did
Over
not.
400 runs this year, but that's okay. There's always next year. I did get a few cool mounts. I got the Spirit of Ekiro, the ghost moose.
Nice.
That everybody and their uncle decided, hey, I'm going to pick up archaeology for the first time since it started in Cataclysm, because I want that moose. And so, I mean, High Mountain was flooded with people.
I'm sure.
Flooded. And I bumped into Dresden like once or twice, just us being in the zone, doing all the dig sites. All of a sudden, I get this like paladin buff on me. And I look around and I see Draven's paladin right there. I'm like, oh, hey, thanks. I don't have a buff to give you anymore. But yeah, just run around, got that. I got the prestigious War Steed, which is what you get for being getting the what is it? Oh yeah, there's 4 different PvP world quests, and you have to get all of them done 20 times each. Oof. And I only actually did it like once or twice. But the cool thing about mages and their order hall and a couple of other classes too is we have an ability that lets us nuke a world quest once a day. So I can just auto complete it. Not any super rare one or really high dollar one, but any regular normal world quest I get to accomplish once a day. And so I use those on all of the PvP ones just so I could get all those done. And incidentally, I hit prestige level 1 in PvP with only doing 1 battleground so far this expansion. So I'm working my way up to prestige too. You know, doing it the Care Bear way, not even going into a raid or a BG.
You're like, I'm high prestige, but I don't hit anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm prestige 1, but I've only done 1 AV since Legion started. I'm kind of awesome that way. But and it's a really cool mount. It's this dark, evil-looking horse with spikes and stuff. And I'm riding around it, and I look, and there's a dead troll head on the back, like right behind the seat, the saddle, and it's just like I cut off a troll's head and just stuck it on the back of the horse. I'm like, oh man,
that's kind of nasty.
And I play a troll mage, so I'm like, oh, I feel kind of conflicted right now. It'd be like if I got on a troll raptor and there's a gnome head dangling from the side of the raptor. I'm like, but I don't know. But it's a cool thing added to my collection anyway. And also, I got the Primal Flame Saber. That's the one that you have to do 15 games of Heroes of the Storm with a buddy to get. And I
Yes.
want to give a shout out to people in our raid team who helped me get a few of those. And also, he's in the chat room. You know him and love him, Draven Dresden. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
He helped
Yes.
me get the last like eight or nine matches in real quick. So get in there and get after it if you haven't done it yet. It's a cool looking mount.
That is
But
that is so awesome. That is really cool. Um,
mhm.
we by the way, before I forget, because I will forget. If we talked about doing something on the show for people to run
Yeah.
this event, and with the crazy schedules of everything, here's what we're gonna do. We're actually tying this into Friday night's drinking and swearing event that Pat Crane and I do together. Since we put aside time on Friday nights to play games with people, we'll just start putting together teams to get their games in for earning the mount and wow. So it will be this Friday, which is tomorrow, and most likely next Friday as well. So you can just come and hang out with us on Pat's stream, twitch.tv/Zug, and we'll give you all of the instructions on how to do it. So super easy. We'll run AI games.
They don't take long at all.
No, and you can't do them as custom games, so we will have to have groups of people kind of doing it together. But don't worry, if you set it for AI and you set it for beginner, you don't need to have any experience to make it work. It's just, blow things up and be done. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you just kind of roll over everything with beginner AI. It's really easy. But yeah, so I got all of those cool mounts added to the collection. So, I didn't get the rocket, but I got 3 other cool ones. So, and I'm almost done with getting my second of the Falcosaurs. So, pretty soon I'll get that one.
Nice.
The only other thing that I've done lately is we did this little thing called raiding last night.
We did.
And we went from 5 out of 10 to 10 out of 10.
It was like magic.
Yeah, it was like we snapped our fingers and Gul'dan was down. It was we kind of had some help with some really awesome people in the guild, and some people for Convert to Mythic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It kind of just came together. It wasn't planned. We needed a tank, and we wound up getting our lovely friend Tatfa, who runs the 2-minute tips on YouTube for all of the fights. And he is one of the tanks for Convert to Mythic, one of Convert to Raid's Mythic teams. And so, as it turned out, he's like, hey, can some of my friends come from the Convert to Mythic team? They're all geared. I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then more people came, and we were just nuking down these bosses with Taffa's leadership, and so we were like, hey, we're 10 out of 10 in Nighthold. Woo!
Yeah, we were like, yeah, we haven't been able to get Spellblade down. We've done the thing, and he was just like, okay, guys, go here, go here, go here, go here. Okay, let's go. And he just pulled it, and we're like, okay, I don't know about all this. And most of them we one-shot. We one-shot Gul'dan.
Yeah, we did.
I think the only one we two-shot was Elisan, the next to the last. Yeah, I mean, Tichondrius just mowed him over. High Botanist was a one-shot. It'd be like somebody in like junior football league going to an NFL game and just it's just being the quarterback and all these linemen are just clearing a path like go ahead and get a touchdown. I mean that's how I felt.
I know. Hey, go get your loot.
Yeah, here's your loot. It was like gear is gear, people. I was happy with it, and we had a really fun time. We did it within our I think we ended the raid like 2 minutes early because it was like we bumped up right against the end of the raid time when we finished. Yeah. So it was really awesome, and I have a lot of new gear. I got 2 relics out of there and some 890 boots, so I am happy. And we're gonna have a few of those people back because they may want to bring their alts in and stuff. And we like to have fun here, so it's kind of a fun thing. Plus, we all got loot, so
I know that was the best.
That's what matters.
Like raising their eye levels and just being like, I got loot. We had 4 legendaries drop in the first 3 bosses. Right. I think a total of 5 legendaries dropped on our run last night.
It was raining legendaries.
It was kind of crazy.
Like I almost got hit by one in the head, but then Pat caught it. He's like, "Oh wow, a legendary!" I was like, "Thanks, you caught it before it hit me in the head."
Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, it was a great raid night. I was very happy about that. It's been a good 2 weeks. I'm glad you had a good time at the podcast convention. I'm glad we got some networking done, and we're going to have an awesome guest on next week.
Yes,
So yeah.
and I am working on another guest for the following week. Most likely, we will be either having that or the week after. I don't want to. I don't want to announce that quite yet because I'm working on the details. But it is coinciding with a letter that we got, which we think will be a very good opportunity for us to bring somebody else on. So yeah, we've been a busy bunch. We'll continue to be a busy bunch, but
Hmm.
in the meantime, so let me just remind you again, we will have a guest next week. Her name is Lisa Hudeman, and you can actually find her website if you want to check it out before we do the show. It's findmyperfectjob.net. Again, that's findmyperfectjob.net. She will be our guest. If you have questions for Lisa about your situation and you want to get them in for the show, please do. questions@taurenthinktank.com. That's our email address. And let us know what you want us to ask her. I already have questions prepared, but if you have specific questions that you want her to cover, let us know, and we will make sure that she takes a gander at those
Yeah,
questions.
it'll
All
be a
right.
good time.
I'm excited. I'm very excited for this because it's something we haven't done before. And I think it's going to be very appropriate for our audience because we answer a lot of questions from people about their careers and wanting to change their careers. And Marconin is in that position too. And so I'm really excited to be able to do that. And with that, let's do what we came here to do, which is a show and a letter for our think tank. Here we go.
Tauren between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
It's think tank time. It's a question from our audience asking for some advice. And here we go. Dear Triple T. Started that off really well. Dear Triple T, I write in today with a different tone. Last time was a response about being a gamer on active duty. I would like to reach out and be a voice of support and advocate for those of us affected peripherally by those we love who have some sort of mental illness or chronic illness. My spouse and my family all suffer from addiction, anxiety, and or chronic depression. As my spouse's main support and rock, I've had a tremendous amount of weight put on my shoulders. It's hard enough being a father and an adult in the insane normal lifestyle expected, compounded by having to be the support structure for my familial diseases and mental health. I tend to use video games, cooking, and on happy occasions a trip to the bar to help escape the pressure. I'm curious what the support side of the Moo Crew does to unwind and practice self-care. Mostly, I would like to let my fellow support folk know that it's totally okay to admit that you need help coping or need some space for you. While you're lucky to have been wired in a typical fashion, it's fine to take care of yourself. As my spouse's boss used to say, you can't water roots with an empty pail. Till next time, Viking Dad from Feather Moon, formerly Brass Monkey on CTR.
All righty then.
So talking about ways to unwind and also to kind of release the pressure valve when you are a caretaker for someone with mental health or with chronic illness. And I think that this is a really good topic to talk about because the thing that I think is hard for so many is the feeling that it just never goes away.
Yeah.
You
always have to be on. You always have to be, on duty, talking about active duty. You're always on duty 24/7.
Right.
And it's hard to get out of that because it becomes the norm. It becomes expected. Always must do. Always have to.
Yeah. Well, and so I guess there's kind of twofold in this respect too, because when you're talking about mental health versus, let's say, physical illness, so, let's give an example of someone who is a caretaker for someone who is very ill or maybe chronically ill or even terminally ill with something like cancer or something like that. And I feel so terrible for, I mean, I know there's a woman who is involved with the frog pants community, who is very prominent in there, who has had a very chronically ill daughter. She thinks she's 15 now. Her daughter's been ill since she was born, and she's 15 now. And so her cycle is to be at home. She requires constant round the clock care, and then she will often be have complications that send her to the hospital. And they are currently in a cycle where she's been sent to the hospital for an extended period of time. Like, that is the worst of the worst, because you have no reprieve of that. You don't know when the next terrible thing might happen. You don't know what could happen, but there's really, like, you find a sense of normalcy, but the normalcy is so challenging. There's never really a break.
Yeah.
And then you say to yourself, well, if that person were to take a break, like, to go on a vacation, I don't think she could even let herself release the responsibility, right? Of,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's an extreme, it's an extreme side of the example, but then turn that into someone who is constantly struggling with anxiety and depression and on all of that. And all of those things are always happening. It's the caretaker is as affected as the person who has the illness.
Yeah, they really are, because, I with people that I know are caretakers like that, it, like you said, it becomes a sense of normalcy. Like, it's their role, it's their part to play. That's what they do, and that's it. I it's it's not really like this, but at work, I'm the only person that does my job. I have a whole team of people that do it part time, but I don't trust them to do it correctly because I'm never given the chance to train them correctly, or they've consistently let me down. So I'm very protective of my duty at work. So, I have people that come into work on the weekends when I'm not there, but I don't trust them to do the work. So I make sure it's all taken care of, because I don't want anyone else messing with it, because they won't take care of it. They don't know how to take care of it like I do,
Right.
in kind of a similar fashion of, a caretaker for someone who's sick. Or, you don't know all of the little details that need to go in. If she does this, or if he has an episode of that, you need to do this. You don't know that, and so it's,
Yep.
There's this kind of, selfish, or like mine. You can't, no one else knows how to take care of this. And so I have this obligation that I have to take care of this person. I have to, this is my domain. This is my part, It may suck at times, but this is the part I have to play. And it's so hard for you to let go of that.
Yes. That's exactly what it is, because it's, number one, the sense of responsibility is overwhelming, and number two, the feeling like you can't ever get away from it. It's just, it's not escapable. It's not, you can't just turn it off and make it go away. So the question is, how do you give yourself some relief? How do you maintain and, like, release the pressure valve a little bit? And that is the number one thing, whether or not you are most people are responsible for somebody or something. I think we all can say that there's a majority of us that have a responsibility for something, someone, some things, that kind of thing.
Like a pet, at the
Right?
very least. Family.
Children, job, whatever it is. I mean, I think it's the rare situation where that doesn't happen, but and for the most part, there's the feeling of, I would do this in a heartbeat because I've chosen to be here. But there's that evil, awful sounding thing in the back of your head, which we've all heard and all said, is, I just wish that I didn't have to do this sometimes. And I wish I just didn't have to deal with this. And I wish it would just go away. And I wish that I could just not, And I think that is the hardest thing to acknowledge and understand, that is so normal. Like, it is so normal. Like, For me, I'm a caretaker for my cats. They are reliant upon me to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
they are fed, and you know, I love them dearly. And when there's vomit all over the house because one of them is sick, or let's say the time when there was feces all over the house because of a sick cat, where you're just like,
Oh boy.
yeah. I mean, you just like, I don't, and it's this, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this, but you do, and then you find ways to just, you just kind of calm yourself down. The hard part though is when you have destructive behaviors to just take away the pain. It's
Yeah.
turning to alcohol, turning to drugs, turning to things that are destructive. It's why it happens so often. Because you're not dealing with the emotion behind it. And
Yeah, you're just pushing it away
yeah,
and delaying it.
yeah. And honestly, and so Erlina just said, I've gone through the same thing with my daughter at times. Luckily, she's high functioning as Asperger's, and she's recently started showing signs of wanting to be more independent. But as a mother of a child who is dependent upon you, and this isn't, I'm gonna say the thing that is the horrible, awful voice thing. I'm gonna say that thing. This isn't what you signed up for when you chose to have a child. And we all hope that we have when you get married and I think you have this wonderful life, and it turns out that your spouse or your significant other turns out to have a chronic illness, a mental illness, God forbid, a fatal illness. It's not
Mm-hmm.
what you signed up for. And so, again, I said the horrid thing. And the reason that I said it is because it needs to be said. It needs to be acknowledged, and you need to say it to yourself, because everybody has this thing of, I am a horrible effing person if I say that out loud. No, you're
No,
not.
I'd say that's normal
It
to have
is
those
normal.
thoughts.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. You just said it. It's normal.
Yeah.
Everybody feels that way. But then you have to look at it and say, okay, well, what am I going to do about it? How am I going to acknowledge it? In this situation where you're the caretaker for a child, it's kind of hard. Like, you can't sit down with your daughter. Erlina couldn't sit down with her daughter and say, taking care of you is sometimes really difficult on me, because that is
Yeah.
not the relationship that you have with your child. You cannot do that.
Yeah. Yeah. You should not. Cannot. Should not.
No, it's not. It's not her fault. It's not. Her child, her daughter is, was born with Asperger's, and it is not. It was no fault of anyone's. It's just the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen this though. I've been close to this and seen it, where the parent has blamed, in not intentionally, but blamed the child for their hardships. If
Yeah.
it wasn't for you, we would be in a very different place. And that is dysfunction.
Yeah.
That is not dealing with your emotions around the anger, around the frustration, and this is not fair. Because I think everybody can say that, like, when you're in that kind of situation, this is not fair. I didn't
Yeah.
sign up for this. Right?
Right. I mean, I mean, in a way you do sign up for it because you decide to have a child or you decide to get married, but it's not what you expect.
That's a good
It's not
point.
what you expect. I mean, that's the whole, when you get married, for better or worse, sickness, health, all that stuff. That's the part that, you say it and you're like, okay, yeah, no matter, all that stuff, but then you don't expect it to actually happen. You don't actually, you've got that white picket fence, 2-story house, 2 dogs and a cat,
Yeah.
that whole picture perfect idea. And then when it doesn't go that way, you're like, well, that's not how I imagined it.
Yeah.
And, that's how life works. Life isn't a sitcom house.
Right.
And all that stuff.
Right. And, I think that when we talk about mental health and specifics, when it comes to two adults like a married couple or people who are in the same in a relationship, because I think
Yeah.
that's a very significant talking about this in specific, saying he is his spouse's main support and rock, which means that she is the one that is coping with mental illness and he is the one helping her through it. I do believe and I do think that it is very important that you have communication and not be afraid of having communication with your spouse to talk about, like, it's very easy for us as people who are caretakers or the people that provide or all that kind of thing to just kind of say, "Oh no, it's fine. It's okay. I love doing this for
Yeah.
you." And when sometimes it isn't okay, and sometimes it isn't fine, and
Yeah.
it is a very important thing to be able to have those communication moments and just say, "This is really hard. And this is not, I'm having a tough time too," because I think that both partners need to understand that. And when you don't communicate and when you don't have those questions answered, or one is just kind of sitting there in this sadness or feeling like, this is hard for me too. When someone is anxious and you need to just kind of help them through it, that's great. You can help them through it. If it's all the time that they're completely always anxious and you're always helping them through it, it's like, okay, so where's the other side of this? Because I think it's a two-way street,
Yeah. Well, and the dependent, when you're talking about it with someone being anxious or needing that support all the time, it becomes dependent.
Yep.
And and the caretaker person, like you're saying, "Oh, it's fine, when it's really not." Well, in that way, you can't really say that it's fine because you're not sure how they'll react. How
Right.
will this person react when they find out that I am not the mountain? Because what brings down a mountain? Two things: water and time.
Yes.
It's just trickles of water over long spans of time.
Right.
So not even a mountain can stay up all the time.
Exactly.
But you've got to put that facade on. This is what people in that position think. I have to have that facade on because someone has to put their finger in the dam. Someone has to hold the water back.
Yeah.
Someone has to always be there to do that. And if I'm, like in a marriage, I'm the only other person here. There's no one else that's going to help me. That's
Right.
what they're thinking in some cases. So that's why you have to put on the face and be that, just person holding up the wall.
Yeah. But I do think that if you have to understand that a healthy relationship is not just one person always holding up the wall.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that is we're talking about romantic relationships, partner relationships, that kind of thing. It's
Yeah,
very
when two
different
people
when it's
are on the same level.
Yeah, it's very different when it's
Yeah.
parent-child or that kind of thing. So I feel like, in order to blow off that steam, are there ways that you can have these meaningful conversations with your spouse outside of the times where she may be just needing you to build her back up again, hold her up, that kind of thing? Are you spending time together? Are you bonding? Are you enjoying time together? Or does it feel like it's always just one-sided? Because that is something that, needs to be addressed as part of her treatment.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, you can't have the only time that you guys spend together be in crisis mode or in helping them through their issues. There has to be, some good times in with the bad, or else it just resentment comes in and other bad feelings. You've got to, like for better and worse, both of them together, not just one or the other. It's both of them.
Yeah.
And so you've really got to, are you having those good times together, or is it just, the bad?
Yes.
Is it just the bad times that you're spending together? Otherwise, are you going off doing your own thing all the time?
Yeah.
Or, that's not constructive either, because that turns it not into a relationship, but more of a job. Like, okay, whenever I'm away from him or her, then I can do this. But whenever I go here, it's like I'm clocking into work. Okay, gotta cheer them up, gotta help them through this thing, you know. And then, you know, and a lot of people don't like their job, so you could get to not liking all that time.
That's right.
And just trying to get away more, and it just gets worse and worse.
It does, and it builds on each other. It builds on itself, I should say.
Yeah, just snowballs.
And before you know it, that snowball has gotten so big that there's no way to melt it without some really, really tough therapy. So that is something to consider. And Jayance, our friend Jayance, is in the chat room. He said people who take on the caretaker role are 70% more likely to be overweight or obese due to their taking care of others before themselves. I don't know where the stat comes from, but that is absolutely, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
because
it does make sense.
You're always putting yourself up in front of other people, and so, you know, I think that is the thing that that most caretakers don't necessarily feel comfortable doing, is to be like what they call quote unquote selfish, because it's like, well, I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to be giving everything I have to the other person or people, and what's left over, you know? And so because I can't equate, I'm not a caretaker in a personal caretaker way, but I'm a personal caretaker to a lot of people in a big community. And so a lot of times what happens is that everybody kind of needs something, and they need some of your time, and they need some of your information, and they need you to set aside time for them. And so on a very much smaller level, I have to practice self-care in that respect, and sometimes I just have to isolate myself a little bit and just say, I'm just taking this time away from now. I just need to be away from this from now, and I need to go do something that I enjoy and not feel guilty about it. The feeling guilty about part, I'm still working on. But and when you talk about, you know, when Viking Dad talks about cooking and video games, you know, and on occasion going to the bar, you know, you're doing the things that you find enjoyable, and it helps you blow off that steam. But, you know, it's the making sure that you're finding the good balance of saying, I am carving out time for myself, not just, I got to get away from this for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a planned thing as part of your de-stressing, as part of your unloading your burden for a little while, not out of necessity, not out of pure necessity. I mean, it's out of necessity, but it's not, you know, it's letting off steam, not calling the fire department. You know, like you call the fire department when the house is on fire. You let off some steam when the pressure's just a little too much.
Yeah.
You don't wait till the boiler explodes to let off steam.
Yeah.
It's too late then.
I did this. I actually, this morning, Marconin messaged me about setting up something for next weekend. And I said, you know what? I need to take next weekend off. I need to, because I've been going. And I need to set this time and say, because this coming weekend, I've already got stuff booked up. People have asked me to do stuff for them. I've said yes. And so I'm pretty much booked up for the entire weekend again. And so the following weekend, I was like, okay, I'm giving myself the saying, I'm blocking this. I am not doing anything. I am not spending time with anybody. I am just taking this time for me, because I haven't done it for a while. And it's hard because I'm saying no to stuff, but it's
Jules.
I know.
Jeez.
I know. I suck. But but it's me feeling like I need to be a little selfish. I need to say, I'm not booking anything into this weekend. I am not doing anything. I need some time to myself, because I can feel that I'm burning out a little bit. So I'm being preemptive in that respect. And I think that caretakers, even though your schedule is a lot more unpredictable, it's difficult to always kind of plan ahead, then maybe you should try to give yourself some time to say, this is going to be my time in this block, you know, whether it's I'm taking all day Thursday and I'm not doing a damn thing and nobody's going to call me, and, plan ahead and get your contingency in and just say, I am taking the day for myself to do this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Just make sure you let people that depend on you know that you're taking the day off.
Yeah.
Because I had a this is kind of a funny story. One of my bosses, when I was doing overnights, she decided to take the weekend off from everything and she turned off her phone. She stayed home. She played video games, and we just had a total weekend by herself. And she said she loved it until the police busted down her door because her sister thought that something had happened to her because she wouldn't answer her phone. She wouldn't answer the door. She had her headphones on. She was like upstairs in her bedroom playing WoW, music going, couldn't hear anything. It was pretty much when the police opened her bedroom / office door, and there's like 2 or 3 officers there with like almost guns drawn, wondering is like, are you so and so? Like, yes, this is my house. And it turns out she tried to get, her family tried to get a hold of they called me like late at night trying to figure out where she was. I was like, I honestly have no idea. And then I was like, well, her last Facebook post was at so-and-so o'clock. So we know that she was okay, at least at that point, and like, oh, that was 6 hours ago. I haven't talked to her. It's this whole big thing. So yeah, if you're going to take some personal time, make sure that people know that you're taking personal time or else the police are going to knock down your door. So.
I almost had that happen to me too. Last year, actually, I had just hit a breaking point with everything that was going on in my personal life, and I was just overwhelmed. And I just needed a break, and so I just said I was going to take one day. I turned my phone off, and I took one day, and my father was trying to get in touch with me because he wanted to see how I was, and I didn't respond. And he tried calling. So he called the apartment office, and they sent someone over to my apartment to knock on my door and say, "Are you okay?" Like, I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Your father's trying to reach you." And I'm like, "I turned my phone off for the day." And so it's like, It was one day. So
and that was the one day he wanted to check up on you.
And it was like, oh Lord. And I was fine. I had just like, I was actually totally enjoying being unplugged. Like there was no social media, no phone calls, no texts, no notifications. I went and I worked out and I did all this stuff, and I'm just like, wow. And then I got blasted like, "You can't just do that. You have to tell us." And I'm like, okay. But sometimes I just want to, and I don't necessarily just want to clear it with everybody that I'm taking the day off,
Yeah. I mean, you don't have, but with the way that people work nowadays, if you don't reply within a certain amount of time, something's wrong, or they broke into your apartment and you've been kidnapped. Or,
yeah. No, I know. It's just
happened.
it's just like you just want to take a day where you're just like, I'm unplugging, and I don't really need you to know about it or warn you about it. I just want to take a day, and yeah, that's. I get it. I understand. People love you and they're concerned. So.
Yeah.
It's too funny, but yeah, I think we've covered quite a bit here. I think you have to recognize what your signs are of overstress, burnout, reaching your breaking point. I think that was something that took me a while to really get, like, to really understand, like, where I was feeling overloaded. And so for me, my warning signs are like the things that I normally do that are just fine and never bother me suddenly are really bugging the crap out of me. Like, oh my gosh, one more private message I got to answer, one more email I got to take care of. One more person needs to talk, and I just don't have the energy to talk to them right now. Like, stuff that I would normally be like, yeah. And that it's like the exact opposite. I know that I'm burning out, and I know I need to take a break.
Yeah. And it's definitely okay to take a break. Get someone that, in a situation with someone that if it's someone in your family that you're the caretaker of, lean on other family members or anything you can think of, other people to kind of give you that time off. If you want to go, go shopping for the day, or go catch a movie or something, just to kind of take a break. When I unwind, I know that Viking Dad was wanting to know what the Moo Crew thought about unwinding. Music's a big part of my life, so I'll go get in the car and I'll put in a CD and I'll drive. Yep. Or I'll just go somewhere. I'll go somewhere I haven't been before. I'll, pick a direction and go. Start driving down a 2-lane road till I figure out wherever it ends up. And I've lived here in the town I'm in for 6 years, and there's roads I've never been down. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'll pick a road and just go and listen to the radio or something. Leave the phone away, don't listen to anything else, or read. I don't read a whole lot, but I do like to read to unwind, and it's perfectly okay.
For
You
me,
you deserve time to unwind.
yeah, for me, I'll go and I'll watch. I like watching Twitch streams. I'll watch a movie. I don't watch very many movies, so I'll actually like sit down and do that, which is a very rare thing. So it's like sit down and like turn your phone, like put your phone in the other room and not answer any respond to any messages for a while. Yeah, and so I will if it's a kind of thing where I need to just vent, I'll hang out with some friends. Sometimes play a video game with a bunch of people and just laugh and be stupid for a while. But as an introvert, sometimes I'm just like, if I'm overwhelmed by a lot of stuff, I just need time by myself. Like I just don't want contact. I don't want people to message me. It's just like I like take a nap with the cats or something like that, which is one of our favorite things to do. So yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, my cats think it's a treat when because they're not allowed in the bedroom, and they're not allowed a whole lot in the computer room. But sometimes I'll just go to the living room and lay down on the recliner, and they're like, "Ooh, he's laying down," and they like just pile on me.
Yep.
And then we'll just all take a nap.
Yeah,
very nice.
I was running on fumes when we got back on Monday morning. I was just trying to get back to work, and we were both just really crazy tired. So I was like, it was like 1:00. I'm gonna go and lay down, and so I have Garrus curled up with me, Spike's at my feet, and I was like, I am in heaven. I am taking some time for me. So, and it was glorious. It was exactly what I needed to do. So.
Gotta recharge.
And not be, we're Americans, and Americans are very, very, very notorious for running ourselves down and not taking time and not, kind of just glorifying and doing nothing. Because we've always got to be doing something. I remember being a kid and, it kind of becomes ingrained in you where you're like, you got to do something where, sometimes you just sit there and like take a stick and draw on the sand, like you just do something like mindless. And, it was like, well, what do you do? Like go play or go watch TV or go read a book. And I'm just like, just doing, we kind of get that doing nothing thing kind of nudged right out of us. You got to be doing something.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes doing nothing is where inspiration will spark you, or imagination lives in those moments of inactivity, because that's when you can really chase that rabbit down streams of thought.
Yeah.
So it's really, sometimes it's important to do nothing.
Yeah.
That's when, most of the really funny bits that I came up with are things that I do for audio. I get that when I'm just sitting in the car driving, and I'm letting my mind wander.
Yeah.
I'm not, that's when your brain gets time to stop worrying about whatever it else is doing and actually gets a chance to stretch.
Yes.
Creatively.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's good to be doing nothing.
Exactly. Exactly. I have a little visitor behind me.
Yeah, you do.
Hello, Garrus.
Hanging out.
Yes, he is. So I think this was a good chat, and audience, if you guys have thoughts on your suggestions, if you have stories of your own regarding being a caretaker, to help with how you let off steam, how you maintain your maintain a healthy lifestyle for yourself, I think that would be great. You can send that to questions@taurenthinktank.com, and we can read them on a future show.
Yeah, we always love to hear from you guys.
We do. Yeah, that was a good discussion, and I liked it. And we've got more discussion to do in the form of Tell Us One Thing, which is coming up right now.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
It's Tell Us One Thing time, and we ask 2 questions a week where we answer them ourselves, but we go ahead and get your lovely listener feedback as well. And you guys came out in force on these. My goodness, I had a lot of
Oh
submissions
yeah.
to put in there. So we start off with question 1, which is, what's your favorite breakfast food item? Marconin, what's
Man.
yours?
Now, I would normally say bacon, but bacon for me transcends a particular time of day, a setting, a meal. Bacon is the embodiment of all things. So therefore, it cannot qualify as just favorite breakfast food because I'll have a bacon cheeseburger for lunch or candied bacon as a dessert, which is the most amazing thing I've ever eaten is candied bacon. Holy moly. Woo! So for me, bacon is not my favorite breakfast item. It is actually bagels with lox. That's my favorite
Really?
breakfast item. Yeah. From the
What?
first time I tried it, I was like, this is the best thing I've had for breakfast. It's so delicious. And if you don't know what it is, it's a bagel. Usually I usually put some cream cheese on it, and it's brined salmon.
Yeah.
That's what lox is. It's filet of brine salmon, and it comes with cream cheese, tomato, which I usually don't like sliced tomato, but with this, it's awesome. And also some red onions and capers, and I love capers. So
Wow.
it's just this big, it's like this explosion of flavor. It's so good, and I love it. And so that's my favorite breakfast food item. Love
That's
it.
that is not what I expected. Not at all.
Yeah, I had it at the first time I ever had it was at the SNA, the Anaheim Airport, like
Really?
2 years ago, going home from BlizzCon. I had it for breakfast, and I was like, you know what? I've never had this before. I'll try it. And it was just, I was just sitting there. I was like, oh, this is so good.
That's
And so
awesome.
any chance I get to have it, I have it. I have to have it.
You have thoroughly surprised me because I did not see that coming. Like bacon with
I didn't
lox.
think you would. Yeah.
No, I didn't see that coming.
Oh,
Um,
now I
for
want it.
I
I'm
know now
thinking
you
about it
want
now.
some. See,
Yeah.
and bagels for me were like a staple growing up because bagels in the East Coast, especially New York, New Jersey, are amazing.
Yeah. And they
Um,
were a treat for me because I never hardly ever got them.
yeah, they they're very special. Like when you go out there, bagels taste different, and
Hmm.
so I'm used to having them because there was bagel shops all the time when I was growing up because that was the thing. Um, but actually, my favorite breakfast food is pancakes.
Oh, good call.
And it's hard to find a place that makes a good pancake. Um, the original Pancake House, I would say, is probably the best at it.
Mm.
Those guys know how to make a good pancake, in my opinion. But it's like it's the kind of thing where it's like it's like the holy grail to find a place that makes really good pancakes because most of them are just kind of like they've got that crust on the top that's kind of rubbery
Yeah.
and yeah, ick. So I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's got to
How
be
do
a
you,
good soft
oh, yeah.
good
How do you
soft
like your
pancake.
pancakes? Like just butter and syrup, or do you like, how do you take your pancakes?
Just butter.
Just butter, no
Just
syrup?
butter, no syrup. Yep. I'm not a fan of
Blasphemy.
syrup. Yeah. Never
Oh,
been. I know, just butter. Um I've been eating so I've been on this kind of prepared meal plan for the last month and so they'll occasionally rotate pancakes into the mix. So they had them this weekend. There were it was pancakes with blueberries and lemon ricotta and
hmm.
so I tried that. And it was okay, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
just a good old pancake with a lot of butter. So
Yeah. What's your opinion on waffles?
I like waffles.
Okay.
But I'm not a fan of putting fruit on stuff on breakfast food. So because I don't like warm fruit, so warm fruit is bad. If you go way back in the Triple T archives, you will find out that warm fruit is bad. I do
Yeah.
not like.
Haven't we talked about Hawaiian pizza before? Pineapples
Uh,
on pizza and how delicious it is.
Disgusting. Yes, we've talked about this. Warm fruit is bad. So
Wonderful.
it's so awful. So yeah, no, yeah, no, no, no.
Yeah.
So we,
But I'm a I'm a huge fan of breakfast. It's my favorite meal of the day.
Is
But
it? Yeah.
so like pretty much all the things that we're about to read, I love all of it. I could eat breakfast every meal of the day. But yeah, oh, so good.
We got a lot of people who said bacon, which you did too, but
Oh yeah, even emoji bacon, which I saw.
a lot of emoji bacon, which doesn't translate well to the to the show notes, but
Yeah.
I had to type it out for people. Oh my goodness. 2020 site said eggs, particularly omelets or egg sandwiches. I wasn't able to eat them between the ages of 26 and 37. When I was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic, I gave them another shot, hoping I could have some breakfast food without carbs, and it worked. Yeah,
Awesome. I
I'm
love a
kind
good
of
omelet.
eggs have always been on the I'm not sure about list for me, and I'm now on the okay, they're good list.
Oh
But
yeah.
there's been times where I just didn't want to eat eggs ever.
Oh yeah. You just had like a drought where you didn't want eggs at all.
It just didn't taste like I just did not like the taste of it. It was not, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like because I know as you age, your taste buds change and you lose taste buds. So obviously, and there's stuff that I eat now that I would have never touched as a kid. So
Oh yeah. Same here.
yeah.
Now,
So
was it eggs in particular? Was it just eggs in general, or just like breakfast eggs, like scrambled eggs or over
eggs in
easy?
general, like hard boiled
Man.
egg, no egg, like just
Oh,
no eggs. And now I'm
I could
like,
just take a. Go ahead.
oh, now I can eat eggs like no problem. It's no problem. So
Yeah. I was gonna say I can just take a hard boiled egg, take the yolk out, put some salt on it, and I'm happy. Just salt the white. I'm weird because I only like the egg white on hard boiled eggs. So like I don't want the yolk. Keep that chalkiness away from me. Just some salt on the egg, and that's fine.
It's awesome. Egg whites are good for you. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Tattooed Freak says, first off, I love breakfast foods, period. A man after my own heart. If I had to choose my favorite, it would have to be a toss-up between biscuits and gravy and eggs Benedict. Yummers. Good call with biscuits and gravy. So good.
Can't do it.
Can't do it? Is it because it's the gravy?
Yeah.
Can you not
It's the
get past
gravy
the
thing.
gravy?
And the same
Have
thing.
you tried it?
Yeah, I don't. I have tried it, like on breakfast buffets. I've tried it, which clearly is not the best.
I was gonna say my grandma makes it on Christmas morning. She makes sausage gravy with biscuits.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You're gonna
need to come to somebody's house and try it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think I've just had. I was gonna say really bad. I'll just say it. I've had shitty ones. So
Yeah.
and
Like
so
if
it
you've
kind
had-
of, but Southern cooking is much of a, that's
Yeah.
a religion right there. So
Yeah. You're gonna have to spend more time in the South, dearie.
yeah, I do. Magic Myth Mayhem says bagels, although I do love most all breakfast foods. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I miss bagels from back home. I do. Like and I don't like go out of my way to get them when I go visit New Jersey, but I miss them.
Oh yeah. The Buttress says breakfast tacos on handmade tortillas, and I have to agree, they're delicious.
Yeah.
They're the best thing about Texas, hands down. And I agree, buddy. Yeah. Oh man, there's the couple of the supermarkets down there in Texas when I was working down there. They hand roll and hand package their own tortillas there. And so I went by after work one morning and grabbed a bag that she had just finished making and took them and made breakfast tacos. It was the best thing. Oh, so good.
You guys are gonna kill me because I'm hungry now.
Oh, I know. Me too.
Zandara says husband is making a grilled cheese with a fried egg and avocado in it for breakfast. I'm gonna say it's my favorite because it's gonna go in my face soon. That's awesome.
Excellent call.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Zandara and his food, like she tweets pictures of his food all the time. Oh, it
He's
looks so
a
good.
chef. Yeah.
He is, yeah. Oh, now I want to eat that too.
I know.
Solomio says Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwich. Or lately, Taylor ham and egg on a grilled cheese.
I see. I'm not a ham person, so that's a pass.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love ham.
Yeah.
Ham is just non-crispy bacon.
They taste very different though.
They do.
They do taste very different. I love bacon. I don't like ham. So it's just this weird thing. I did eat some ham recently, and because it was on a sandwich that I was eating, and it was wonderful. But I'm not a thing. It's not a thing for me. We got a couple things from French toast from GDS MGL and Toric. French toast is awesome as long as it's made well. Perfect Nomad's Eggo waffles made me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, he said my girlfriend and I go to Costco and buy a box every other week.
Yeah,
Lego
Solomio
my
said it right.
Eggo.
Jersey, you call it pork roll. Taylor ham is the other way to say it, but pork roll.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I've
yeah.
heard of pork roll. I've never had it, but
It's
I've
an
heard
East
of it.
Coast thing. It's totally an East
Yeah.
Coast thing.
I'll have to try that sometime.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything
Broken
here?
Bones was saying lemon ricotta pancakes with fresh strawberries on top.
See, the whole lemon
Mm.
ricotta thing was odd to me. It was the first time I ever had it, and it was, done the healthy way, so it wasn't like, super super high calorie, like, flavorful
Yeah.
type of thing. But yeah, I totally get that. Um, let's see. Bob Evans sausage links from Alessander. Yeah. Eggs Benedict. People have been saying Eggs Benedict. It's not my thing either. Pat actually got Eggs Benedict when we went to the restaurant for breakfast one day. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's the ham thing. It's the Canadian bacon thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Who else we got? Tiber says, I most commonly have a bowl of oatmeal, but my favorite breakfast item would be a ham and cheese omelet.
Yeah. Omelets are good.
Mm-hmm.
I like omelets.
Yeah.
That is
I like a
nice.
good bowl of oatmeal every once in a while, but of course it's got to have something else in it. It's got to have I think like Quaker does like a maple syrup oatmeal, and I was like, yeah, it's got to have that in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to.
I love Ruse. Ruse is so funny. Carnation Breakfast Essentials, formerly known as Instant Breakfast. As soon as I get to the kitchen, daily since the 70s. You're basically
Wow.
like drinking your breakfast, girl. Like,
Yeah.
that's tradition. That's awesome.
Yeah. In the chat room, Buttress added crepes deserve an honorable mention.
They're okay.
They're like
all
little
right.
thin pancakes.
Yeah, they're okay. They're not my favorite. I guess I've determined that breakfast is cool, but it's not like I don't like everything related to breakfast food.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of the thing. All right, we're gonna move on to question 2.
Before I eat my arm.
Right,
because I'm very
Marconin and I
hungry.
are both going to eat the microphones. So this one's going to be a little bit more serious, but we'll have a fun time with it. Don't eat your microphone for real.
Okay.
Okay. What do you keep putting off that you really should just do already, knowing that if you admit it here, we're just going to encourage you to do it, or as Shia LaBeouf says,
Just do it!
yeah, just going to tell you to just do it. So Marconin, what are you putting off that you should just do it?
I guess being more consistent with working out, of course, the one I had started a lot of Pokemon Go adventures. Mm-hmm. Seeing more of the towns and seeing where, like, in fact, like downtown Little Rock is lit up like a Christmas tree with Pokestops. So at some point, I don't know, maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday, I'm gonna go downtown and walk around and do all that.
Yeah.
Like one day I walked almost 5 kilometers in an afternoon. I don't know how many miles that is because the game doesn't measure in miles, but I think that's a good
2.4
bit.
miles.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, just being more consistent and more aggressive in working out, like doing, getting my heart rate up faster, and doing more, because my wife does CrossFit, which is intense.
Yeah.
Like that's hugely intense compared to what I do.
Yeah.
So I just need to up my game a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to quit lollygagging, running around. Need to do it.
You
Need
need
to just
to
do it.
Yeah, you just need to.
Just do it!
Yeah, go ahead, just do it.
I
Just
do.
Go do it.
I don't need to let my dreams just be dreams.
We have to go get Shia LaBeouf's thing for this show.
Yeah.
That won't be the last time you hear it either.
Yeah. And keeping up with friends as well, because I'm the kind of person that I don't know. It's just when I'm friends with somebody, it's already an assumed conclusion, but I'm not really the person to initiate conversations very often.
Yeah.
So sometimes my friends think I'm mad at them or that something's weird or something. And it's not the case at all. It's just that I'm a bad friend in that way, that I don't talk as much as I should, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess I could be better at that as well,
Yeah.
because, you could potentially lose some friendships that way just
Right.
by not just through inaction, unknowing, and like my best friend from high school, I talk to him once, maybe once a year or so, but it's always like, I've got your back no matter what. Like, you don't have to talk to me every day to know that. Just know that. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It transcends communication and time between that.
Yeah. Well, here's
No.
the thing, Marconin. I'm going to give you a directive for the next 2 days that you have off. You're going to pick one friend that you've just been saying, I really need to get in touch with so-and-so, and you're going to send them a message. And
Okay.
just say, hi, I just want to let you know I was thinking about you. That's all
Okay.
you got to do. And whether
I'll
they
do that.
respond to you or not, but you've done it, right?
Yeah.
And then if they respond, you've had a conversation and you just feel better about it. But literally, just do it.
Just
Mm-hmm.
do it!
Like he said, crazy Shia.
Thank you, Shia. So this question was something I wrote, and it was inspired by me being in Orlando this weekend at a conference where there were big screens and me trying to read stuff. We were at some theme parks where we were at a distance trying to find out where we were, and I was squinty because I haven't gone to the eye doctor in probably 2.5 years.
Uh-oh.
Because I am just lazy and I've been putting it off, because if I do that, it means I have to buy new lenses for my glasses, and it's an expense that I don't want to have. And so therefore I just say, I'm not going to do it. So I did it.
You did it.
I got home and I made an appointment with a new eye doctor, and I got my eyes checked yesterday. And it told me that, yeah, Jules, your glasses are 3 steps out of date. Oops.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I can see fine up close, but I can't see very well far away. And so I need to get new lenses for my glasses and do the whole thing again. And I'm going to have to spend some money and, blah. But it's necessary because I think I can't see. So, and I do this with medical stuff, especially.
Yeah.
Routine checkups.
I hear you there.
I got to go do that. I had to go and make an appointment for my routine checkups. I turned 40. I didn't get a mammogram. I know, guys. I know. And
How
I need
often
to
are
go
you
do
supposed
it.
to do like those checkups?
Well,
Because I've never done one.
so physical, okay. So it depends.
Never done a physical before.
Yeah, I get a physical every year, mainly because I have to in order for my prescriptions to stay active.
Yeah.
So in order for them to renew my prescriptions, they want me to come in and do blood draws. They want to do physical exam for the ladies. It's an internal exam, and which is really, really sucky. And when you turn 40, they tell you you're supposed to start getting mammograms done, and I have not done mine yet. So yes, I know, guys. I know I'm gonna schedule it, because I haven't done it. So
Don't make Shia come after you.
no, and Shia is yelling at me right now.
Just do it!
Just do it. So I'm gonna just do that. The problem, so here's the problem with me. Number 1, I hate doctors. Number 2, I don't like paying all the money it's going to cost me to go see those doctors. And so, because health insurance sucks, so I'm off my soapbox. There you go. But I figured I would put this question out there because maybe it would inspire some folks who are just kind of dragging their feet on some stuff and they're afraid to do it, to just do it. So, Shai is here to help you too. And so are we. So we're reading them off. Marconin, give us a start.
A 2020 site says that I need to get back on the nutrition and weight loss train. I've gained 40 of the 65 pounds I lost 2 years ago back. It's time to begin moving in the correct direction again.
Hey, 2020 site.
Yeah.
What's
You.
stopping you?
Yeah.
What's stopping
What's stopping you?
We
Come
say to you, I hit the wrong button. We
Get on
say
that
to
train.
you,
Just do it!
thank you. Just do it. Tattooed Freak says,
Nike.
clean out the junk in our 4th bedroom comes to mind. It would be a treasure trove of lost items since most of the stuff was either in storage in the garage or in closets in our last residence. I know I have a box of D&D books, a beer making kit, along with an entire 10 by 12 room of things that we could use or sell. Got to put down the keyboard and mouse and get in there. I should have said working out, but I honestly don't have the time to allot to really working out on a regular schedule. Okay, so you got 2 things here, Tattooed Freak. And number 1, I totally relate to this thing that you're talking about with the not cleaning up a room thing. Because it's so easy to just say, I can do it later. It's not.
If you
So
shut the door, it doesn't exist.
it doesn't exist, right? And I can tell you from specific experience that I did this for many years, and then I got a divorce and had to move out of my house in a relatively quick time to get my own place. And then it was like all that stuff that I had sitting in the basement needed to be gone through because I was on a deadline. So and I will tell you, it was the most amazing feeling to have that done and not to have to do it again. So if you're a person of like what's the word I'm looking for? If you can like trick yourself into thinking that you have a deadline even though necessarily you don't, like to trick your brain into knowing that if I don't have this done, something will happen or I won't be able to do something. Can you do that for yourself? Because if you give yourself an ultimatum of some sort, then it gets done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's extreme, but I think that once you get started with it, it starts the process and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually getting it done. Right. So,
Yeah.
so creating
breaking
some
it
urgency.
off into bite-sized. Yeah, and breaking it off into bite-sized chunks too helps.
Yeah. Like, because once you start with the process, that was the thing. Like, I had an entire basement to go through and 8 years worth of stuff. And I realized that when I got down there, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. But it gets built up in your mind and you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to take me all day. It's going to be so horrible. I'm going to hate it. And I was done with it. The whole process, I was done with it within a couple of days of doing it in small chunks. And, I threw out a lot of stuff and a whole lot of stuff I got rid of, and which was a great feeling because I didn't need it. I wasn't using it. I donated a ton of stuff. I threw away the junk, and then all of a sudden, it wasn't so big anymore.
So, that's the way to do it.
Yes. So, tattooed freak, we say to you, what's stopping you?
Yeah, the keyboard and the mouse. Put it down.
Put it down.
Open that door.
Open that
Get
door
in there.
and just do it. The working out thing, again, I've been working out on a regular schedule since November. I have a terrible time with this. Historically, I've had a terrible time with this. I just made sure I made time in my schedule for the way that I worked and the way that I needed it to be. Anything can be done if you really want it bad enough, and you can find ways to work around it. So I was off. I took 3 days off this week because I just had no time in my mind, and I was tired. And I got out there and I did it today because I'm like, you are not getting off of this train. You just stepped off the platform for a moment. You're getting back on the train. So I went back today and I did it. You can too.
And some days at work, my commute's about a half hour. So sometimes I don't feel like after working a long day, like I want to get back on the road. So I'll go downtown and walk around for an hour, play Pokemon Go, and I'll keep a constant pace. I walk kind of fast. I got long legs.
Yep.
So I keep the pace going and keep my heart rate up a little bit. And that's something. It's not nothing. It's something. I mean, and I walk all day at work too. I have a very physical job, but that extra hour of walking around is something. It burns calories. It helps, even if a little bit. So there's always kind of like little things you can kind of hack your day and do it.
Yeah. This one goes out to Nymphadora as well. Nymphadora, what's stopping you with your exercising? Just do it.
Just do it, guys.
Just do it.
Magic Myth Mayhem says, important stuff. 2 research papers, getting back on a workout schedule, prepping for transferring, writing a collab piece, getting my license, getting a therapist, probably a bunch of other stuff I'm forgetting. That's a lot of stuff.
Magic Myth Mayhem. Break that up into smaller chunks for yourself and don't let it get overwhelming. That's a whole lot of stuff you're hanging on to.
Yeah.
Pick one of them and focus on it and get it done. What are you waiting for? Just do it.
Just do it.
A couple people said grouping in hots. Kazrick said Broken Bones said it. You guys are running out of time. So you have 2 more weeks. Get yourself on a schedule. Come to Drinking and Swearing tomorrow. Find a group and convert to raid that's been doing them, because a whole bunch of them have been doing it. But find the time, set it aside in your schedule, and just do it.
Yeah. There's no time like the present.
No time like the present at all. Go do it. Also, Solomio, you also said exercise. Hey, Solomio, what's stopping you?
Do it.
Just do it. And Zytam says, cleaning the pigsty I live in, but what's the point? The point is how much better you'll feel after you put in the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The cleaner the room is, the better you feel. You know, it doesn't stress you out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's clean, it's like, okay, I don't have to worry about how long this thing's been sitting here, or how long that's been there if I trip over this or that. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more calming to be in a cleaner room. So yeah, that's the point. Plus,
yes.
it's you know, you won't trip and fall off things, or you know, it's easy. Just get it done a piece at a time.
But you know what, Zytam? He said it's only going to get dirty again. Yeah, it definitely will. But think about how you feel when it's clean versus how you feel when it's dirty. And I think you will feel two different things at that time. Because it won't bother you when it's clean, and it bothers you when it's dirty. So think about it from that perspective. You feel better when it's clean. And that's
also
worth it.
Yeah, and once it is clean, you can start having better habits of like, oh well, because see, like I've been using, like for instance, I've been using breathe right strips a lot lately, and there's a lot of trash that's associated with it because it's got the packaging, it's got two pieces of thing, and like I realized that I'd been letting all of the little pieces of paper stack up on my nightstand, and so now our bedroom is clean, and I'm like, you know what? I should probably put a little wastebasket over there so they don't just like pile up on my nightstand. They can just all go in the trash.
Yep.
So that's kind of starting better habits. And so once the room is clean, it's like a blank slate. So now that it's clean, now I can start really paying attention to when it's just a little bit dirty. That'll bug me a little bit. You know, it'll bug you more when the whole room's clean and there's only one little thing that's wrong. It's like, oh, that's really bugging me. So I'll fix that one little thing. And if you keep fixing the one little thing over time, you're effectively fixing all of the big stuff. You know, you're avoiding the big messes by cleaning up the little messes as you go.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you know what? Anybody who wrote on this list, you shared it with us, so we're holding you accountable because you took the time to actually admit that you were holding off on it. Which means that it's on your mind, which means it's bugging you, which means we want to help you get rid of it. So just do it.
Do it.
Just do it.
Just do it!
Yes.
Listen to the man.
Listen to that man. Torek says, I really should get back into learning more 3D modeling and animation. It's the career I'd absolutely love to get into. I work as a CAD designer, so a lot of the basic techniques should translate easy for me, but I still have a lot to learn, not to mention wanting to learn more about the whole process involved and that industry itself. You sound so passionate about this when you talk about it, so what's holding you back? Torek, what's stopping you?
Yeah, take a little bit of time. See, that's kind of how I feel with video editing. It's because it's something I'd like to get into, but I went to school for broadcasting, so I know a little bit about it, but like After Effects and all that stuff, that's still foreign to me. One thing I was going to think about doing is like get a book on 3D modeling or animation and read a chapter every other day. Like set aside some time to read that chapter or to go through some exercises or watch some tutorials, break it down into pieces and kind of teach yourself, if you're not going to take a full-on class for that or anything like that, just break it up into smaller pieces like we've been talking, man. That's what I'm going to try and do.
Marconin
with
the
video
gnome.
editing.
You have a full-on project that you have been sitting on.
I know.
Called all of the footage that you took the time to take at PAX South.
I know.
It's like you have a project to focus on.
I know.
It's not even like you have to figure out the project. It's right there.
I know. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to me. Apologize to Shia.
Just do it!
I'm sorry, Shia.
Yeah, apologize to Shia. Just do it. It's something you want to do. Just
I'll
do
tweet
it.
him now. I'll
Just
tweet
do
at
it.
him.
Just do it.
And Perfect Nomad, get that Blizzard game podcast out the door, man. You got to do it. he says that he's got a Blizzard podcast that he wants to do with a coworker. They already have an intro song, cover art, and a name, but hardly any time to put into it.
Perfect nomad.
Buddy, I love you.
You've done
Put some
all the
time in.
work.
Yeah,
What's stopping you?
pick an hour. Do an hour. Sit down, talk, record it. Put it together. Done.
Done. We
Done.
expect. Do it. Just do it.
Do it. We want to hear it.
You admitted
You
it.
better-
You said it out loud. We're holding you accountable. You're going to go do it. Go do it. Go do it.
Please, do it.
Zafira, currently switching rooms in my house, needs shelving in the closet, putting it off due to I have to take piles of clothing from not only 2 different rooms, but a flight of stairs. Oh, did I mention the rooms are also on the complete opposite side of the house? Yeah, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's temporary.
Yep.
Temporary
Once
projects.
you get it done, you're done.
Yeah, once you get it done, it will be so much better. Shelving done, you won't have to worry about it anymore. So set yourself a deadline and say, I'm going to do it by this day, and do it. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Get it done.
Put it on your calendar.
Yeah. Set yourself a deadline and get it done so it's not bugging you anymore.
Mm-hmm. Leave notes. Something to, bug yourself about it.
Yeah, same thing for Tiber, cleaning up the basement, even though he did 2 closets with this week. You did awesome. Use that momentum, Tiber, and do it. Clean that basement. It's going to feel so much better when it's done, just like those closets felt really, really good. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Let's see. RJ Sketch says, draw every single day, even if it's just an awful doodle. It's so hard to get started. I know, but that's the thing. Once you start, you've already got it started, and you can just keep on doodling.
That's right.
That first stroke.
Just go for it. Just start every day. You want to draw every single day, set yourself a goal to do it, and hold yourself accountable and say, I'm doing it every day. Even if I'm just drawing a stick figure, I'm drawing a sketch. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for?
That's something I haven't done a lot of. Is I used to draw a lot when I was little, but then in school they made you pick between visual art and music.
Yeah.
So I went music. I miss drawing sometimes. You sketch some more. I could do
you're
that.
giving yourself like a list of things that
I
you
know.
want to do, right?
I know. I gotta quit my job because I don't have any time. So I gotta do the video. I gotta go work out. I gotta draw.
Marconin, pick one and focus on it.
What? Oh, you mean take the advice that we were just talking about 5 minutes ago?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Focus on one and just do it, goddammit.
Just do it!
Okay, Shy, I'm sorry. Quit yelling at me.
We hope you guys had fun with this one. We thought it was a lot of fun. Marconin came up with the idea with the Shia quote, and I think that would be great. We want to motivate you. We want to inspire you. We want you to go out there and tackle the things that are on your list that you've been putting off, the things that you think you don't have time for. Just do it. Just go do it. Set your time aside and figure it out. You can do this. We believe in you.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And you guys can do anything you put your mind to.
That's right.
So just get out there and do it. We will cheer for you all the way.
I'm going to work on being a unicorn because I want to be a unicorn. Okay, I don't.
Well, don't just let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday you said tomorrow.
I'm going to be a unicorn if it kills me. I don't know. It was random. I thought it would be a good joke. It's not. So let's just move on to the time of the slash moves. Here we go.
Zytam says, slash moo to Tour Arts, Cuddles, and Draven Dresden for helping me and 2 others get the Flame Saber mount last Sunday. See, I told you Draven was all about that mount and helping everybody. Draven pretty much carried us after Cuddles and Tour Arts had to leave to do their podcast. It's awesome.
Buttress says in the chat, you just need to be a little more horny. Thank you, Buttress, for
thanks.
breaking my rhythm on the show to make me. Good Lord, you people. Zafira says, slash moo to every single person that was involved with the Tim Tebow Foundation and all the special guests at the prom last weekend.
Very cool. Agassi says, slash moo to at Novamac and the best panda of all pandas, Little Mike, for helping leveling and getting gear. Finally feeling like a real healer again.
Yay! Tattoo
Awesome.
freak. Yay! Tattoo Freak says, slash moo to my Tadpool guildies. We've been running old school raids for achieves, titles, battle pets, and mounts, and now we're thinking about doing some gear runs to get everyone up to level for some possible LFR dabbling. I've played for over 7 years, and this is the first time I've regularly played with anyone, done any type of raiding or current content, so I'm very happy to have our Wednesday night raids and look forward to trying new things. Finally! Woot woot.
Awesome. From Tiber. Here we go again. A slash mood to Turarts, Cuddles, Draven Dresden, and the many other CTR guildies that helped me complete 15 Heroes of the Storm matches and getting the Primal Flame Saber mount. Also slash mood to Majadeth for his Hearthstone stream that actually teaches you to play Hearthstone better. I gotta agree with that. Watching his stream helped me win my first card back for ranked play for the February Hearthstone season.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Mage Death is a good friend of ours and someone who I work with a lot with the Well Played Party. And he has been following his dream of becoming a Hearthstone streamer, and he's doing a great job with it. And so
It really is.
that is so cool to hear. And I sent his sent Tiber's slash moo over to him in a private message so he could see it. So I think
Yeah,
really
he didn't
appreciate
just let his dreams be dreams. He went and did it.
He did not. And from Solovala, slash moo to my boyfriend Gruff, a chamois who is leaving everything behind in the UK to start a life with me here in Norway.
Awesome.
Aww. That's so sweet. Oh, yay. Happy love stuff.
Congratulations.
Yay.
That's
Congratulations. Good luck to you guys. That's amazing. Long distance relationships are hard.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Are there any slash moves you want to give out, Jules?
I want to give a slash mood out to everybody who came to the Orlando meetup. Met some new folks, met some folks that I had known for years but never actually physically met. Met some people that I have seen in the past and had a great time. That was a really fun time. It was a really great time. And also a big slash mood to my friend, my boss, and my overall partner in work and all the stuff, Pat Crane. Because you know what? It's really hard to find a friend and someone who you can work with on a regular basis and not want to kill each other.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you travel together, because traveling can be... And we had some really kind of challenging travel moments, but we travel together super well, and we keep our cool even when it gets frustrating and stressful. And I am really, really grateful for that. So slash moo to Pat Crane because he rocks.
Definitely. And I want to give out a slash mood to our buddy 112, Eric, because I've been getting these things in the mail, and it turned out that it was like an alternate reality mystery game thing. I haven't talked about it on the show because I was really investigating all these weird, mysterious letters and postcards and things.
Yeah.
It turns out he was the one behind it, and it was awesome, and I need to message him about it because I got the last piece of the puzzle today. And it was really weird. I thought it was a scam, but it turned out to be a really awesome thing. So he's a stellar guy, one of the best friends and fans of the show, and our good buddy. And so slash moo to you, buddy. That was awesome. Thank you.
You were getting
it was
this
right
in your
up my
physical
alley.
mail?
Physical mail to my house.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't tell you about it because I was like, who did this? Who did, I was like, it wasn't my wife. It wasn't my mom. It wasn't anybody around me. I was like, who did this? I have no idea. And then it all came to a head today.
Okay.
So it was awesome.
So
I'll tell you about it after.
Yeah, no, I'm curious about what the story is. You might have to show it off on social media to people.
Well, it's a thing where it's one of those things where I don't think people want to give away the secrets.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those.
Okay.
One of those kinds of things.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Because I tried Googling some of this stuff, and it's very well done. Very, everything looks official when you look up stuff, and people are like, hey, unless you want to know what's really going on and want to be spoiled, don't go any farther down this link.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I don't want to know. I want to figure this out on my own.
Aww.
And so it was super awesome. And I was like, this is, it wasn't video game related. It was something that was right up my alley.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. So thank you, buddy. I really, really appreciate that.
Such a great
It's so
guy.
cool. It's awesome.
That is so cool. Oh yeah, I love that. I love it. yeah, what else did I have here? Anything? No. So that's a show. We did a show.
We did do a show.
We did
Oh,
do
we
a
have
show.
one last minute slash move
Oh, okay.
from Thaytan in the chat room. Slash move to everyone in AIE during the difficult time with Ralph passing away.
Yes. If you guys hadn't heard, AIE Guild on Earthen Ring lost one of their high-ranking officers, someone who's been there since the foundation of their guild, Ralphie. He passed away, and it was a very unexpected thing. And actually, if you, we actually had a really long conversation about grief and about dealing with losing a dear friend that is at a distance, someone that you've met through all of the communities. We did that on Slaying Demons, which is my other show that I do with Jocelyn and Nevermore. And so there was a good long conversation about dealing with grief, which we had also done on this show a couple weeks ago. And so, yeah, it was a good conversation, but we've both Marconin and I were present to support our friends during the memorial service that they had in game, which was a lovely thing.
Yeah.
And we were glad to be there. We were glad to be a part of it. And I know AIE has been wonderful in thanking us. It was like, well, you don't have to thank us. We were there because of you. So, yeah.
Yeah. You gotta, we all lean on each other in times like that.
Right.
I didn't get a chance to get to know him at all. I didn't know, because I don't spend much time on Earthen Ring, so
No.
I didn't know him. But we were there at the memorial service, and I think I'm less of a person for not knowing him. I wish I could have known him, because he sounded like one of the really, really good ones. So, yeah.
Draven's throwing a last minute one in there. Misspelling our names so that we would read it. Slash me to Jules and Marconin for always being upbeat, positive, and fun people. We try. You're not supposed to slash me us, but I'll allow it.
Yeah. For creativity.
You get points for creativity for
names.
spelling my name JEWEL and then a capital S, and Marconin for Marconin.
Yeah.
And the reason I know we talk about this and we make a joke out of it, but we do this because it makes us feel good. Like, it makes us feel happy to communicate and to share our message and our, a positive message to our community, right? So I've had people compliment me recently for things like that, and it's just like, well, I totally appreciate it. It's just like, but this is just who I want to, this is the person I want to be,
Yeah.
It's always the person I want to be. So it's important to be that person, and hopefully, we're given a gift of being able to talk to people who want to hear that.
Yeah.
They want to hear that
it's
message.
a very unique position to be in, but it was one that, it's one that we wanted to be in. That's why we're here. You guys are why we're here, and because we love you guys, and we want to help as much as we can.
Yeah.
And share your stories with other people who may have been through a tough time and can't see their way through it, but through your help, not just us. I mean, because we wouldn't exist without you guys, but it's through you guys that we're able to help others, and that you in turn help them and they help us. It's just, when the water rises, all boats float, and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And that's what you guys do, with us every week.
Yeah. There's a, it's always a gift, to, to be able to go to, say, like the meetup that we went to in Orlando and meet people who have said, I listened to your work and I've loved listening to you. And that means so much. You have no idea, because it just, every person who listens to this is a gift. It's a gift.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we won't stop making them unless you guys want to stop listening. So. And then we might just talk to each other and record it, so then you don't know. So.
Yeah. It'd just be conversational.
Right.
Just conversational, Jules and Marconin.
Good Lord, this show is almost 2 hours. We need to get this going.
Yeah, we do.
I know, it's like, oh my gosh, we just keep talking. All right, let's bring this show to a close, and we'll do that like we always do. like this. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Portions of the music and sound effects can be heard on the show Portions of the music and sound effects heard on the show can be found at incompetech.com and freesound.org. You can find us outside of the show on our website. That's tarnthinktank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us, too. Do you want some sweet Triple T swag? Well, all you got to do is go on over to tarnthinktank.com/store. There you can score some sweet loot. We'll drop for you like t-shirts and sweatshirts. How about some mug for your tasty beverage, or some phone cases, or notebooks, laptop cases, and some extra cool stuff. I've got some ideas for other stuff, too. So, yeah, that's Triple T or tarnthinktank.com/store.
I think the energy drink is wearing off.
Energy drink is affecting me a little bit now.
Thank you to all who support our show via Patreon. If you'd like to help out Triple T, you can do so at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank. Want to meet other members of the Triple T community? You can go to our Discord server and hang out with those amazing people by going to tinyurl.com/TTTchat2.
Yes, you can. And you can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. If you want us at 140 characters or less, you can find us on Twitter for the show at TaurenThinkTank. TaurenThinkTank. What is going on?
I don't know.
You can also find Jules at Jules RPG and myself, Marconin, at Marconin Wow.
And now that Marconin's used up all the music bagger.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're gonna get out of here and be here next week. Join us for the next show, which is going to have a guest named Lisa Hudeman from FindMyPerfectJob.net. So we are excited to have her here, and we will see you next week. Marconin, have a wonderful week.
You do the same, Jules.
For myself, for Marconin, for the entire chat room. Until next time. /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
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 Just do it!
Brain and my mouth went weird at the end. I couldn't talk right.
Yeah, your brain was just like, where?
It's like, what's going on?
What's going on? Oh, the Marsha story. The Marsha story.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
So, show titles, folks. What was it? Listen to Shia. That was one that...
Listen to Shia. No, we're not
Solomeo.
putting his name in the show title. Sorry. Blame the equipment. Show titles. Please. Please.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah. Brain jumped a gear.
Yeah, brain jumped a gear. Yeah.
It's so true. Oh. I know.
Oh, excuse me.
Goes Nike on your ass. No.
Can't do that one, unfortunately.
No brand dropping and no swearing. Draven.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor. Just do it. I know. I was thinking, what are you waiting for? It's another show title.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that.
What are you waiting? Shia yelled at me. You all got yelled at. You did. You got all yelled at. In the best way. In the right way. The encouragement way. Even though you're all probably crying at this point. God damn it, Jules and Marconin. Why do you make me feel so guilty? Why you gotta be so rude?
Oh man, I cannot wait for Logan tomorrow. I hope I go see it
know.
tomorrow. So excited.
I know. Making us do things. We are making you do things, but you admitted to it.
We're encouraging you to do the things you want to do in the first place.
That's right. Oh, good Lord. I'm tired. Whew, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the show title is Just Do It.
That works.
Okay. And bacon on everything. It's the subtitle. Just do it.
Yep.
Just do it. For Solo
Yep.
Mio, so there's gotta be some alternative therapy for you. There's gotta be, whether it's water therapy or something like that to help, because there's been other people out there with arthritis, right, who have got the same situation as you. So yeah, I get it. I get that you're in a lot of pain, but you know, my philosophy is that if you want it bad enough, there's a way. There is a way. Just
And
gotta look
Papa
for it.
Java, thanks for joining in. Thanks for being here.
Definitely.
for listening.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you for hanging out
Good
with the
to see
live
ya.
show. And I know, well, a lot of people don't listen to the live show because they like to listen at work. And
Yeah,
it's, you know,
that's
so
what
you don't
I
wanna
that's what I
spoil it.
used to do.
I totally understand that. So, but thanks for coming by the live show. You can see
Yeah.
our goofball faces while we record.
And you can see a ton of Garrus tonight. He was walking back and forth. At least on my camera, I saw a good portion of him.
Yeah, he actually, the first time he was just sitting here right over my shoulder and I was scritching him on the camera. He has been, oh, he's up on the tree this time. He has been so clingy since I got home. He's been so clingy to the point where, this is kind of embarrassing to admit, but to the point where he does not have patience for when I am like indisposed. So I am sitting on the toilet and he decides he wants to jump up on me. And anybody who knows, when you have cats with claws, you really don't want them on your bare legs.
Nope.
So yeah, so I got he walked across my back. He like literally walked across my back, and then he jumped up on my lap, and I caught him. Like I caught him in my arms, and I'm like, this is not gonna end well. Like,
And just gonna slide him. Yeah.
he just wants to
Pixie's
be
weird.
around Mama.
Yeah. Pixie's my shadow, and she'll follow me around, and she'll, you know, she goes into the bathroom with me in the morning when I take a shower and everything. And sometimes I'll go, you know, I'll be indisposed, and she'll just sit on the counter and just stare at me. Like just that, she'll kind of get in that bowling pin form where her front legs are straight, where she's just kind of sitting on her back feet. She just stares, like not just like I was like, quit staring at me while I'm pooping.
I
Kat."
know, like,
This is like, I'm like, how comfortable.
staring at
Like,
me when I poop.
Stop it. Go somewhere else.
Thanks, intentional glitch. My camera's actually not the best. Like, it's the basic Logitech camera, but it's always worked really well. And I think it helps because I light myself really. Like, this is when I don't have my studio light on. It's pretty different. Yeah. So you get a lot.
And this is mine.
Yep.
Without the light. And I think the reason why my camera isn't as good is because it has to go through the internet to her to get to the thing, and then it goes back out again.
Yeah, Felix, you can close the door, and I cannot. I am not permitted to close the door because I've got the paw like underneath the door.
You get the little paw, and it's like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, what's you? What are you doing?
Scratch, scratch, scratch. Yeah.
I close the door too, but she's sneaky. Pixie will slide in like as I'm shutting the door. She's a thin cat. She's not very big, so she'll just slide jet straight through while I'm closing the door.
She's just like,
and I'm just like, okay.
Thread
Sometimes
the
I'll
needle.
close the door and I'm like, hi, I avoided it, and I'll turn around and she's up on the counter already looking at me. Like, okay, fine. Fine, cat, fine.
Damn cat. You
Mhm.
can't see him up on the tree on your camera, can you?
No, I can't see him.
Yeah, he must have snuck up there. I didn't even know he went up there. And Spike is on the bed, or my bed, so he's not out here tonight, sticking his paws out for you.
Ooh, excuse me.
All right, lovely people. We're going to get out of here so I can start editing the final product and throwing it up on the feed so I can go to bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Deep.
Bed. You guys.
And then you can get up at 5.
I know.
Watch HGC.
I know. I really want to, and I'm gonna hate myself if I do it. It's hard. So hard. All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the chat room for a good conversation tonight. And we'll see you next week with our guest, who I think you will very much enjoy. And we are looking forward to this interview. It'll probably be a shorter show.
Yeah.
Because we won't do our normal stuff, but we'll just focus on the interview, and then we'll be like, thank you, and then bye. So, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, the new hero, they announced the new hero today. Oh, you're talking about in Heroes of the Storm.
Heroes of the Storm. It's a StarCraft hero, I think.
Ooh.
Which means I don't know, because I don't follow StarCraft at all. So
it's gonna be. I still haven't even finished Wings of Liberty yet. I'm like 1 or 2 missions away from that. I think it's gonna be that general dude with the tentacle arm. I don't know. I'm just throwing out a guy.
Dude with the
he's like some Terran guy that gets corrupted or something. I think Protoss.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a Protoss. I don't know.
Oh, okay. They have a silhouette already.
They have there's a circle. There's a lightning circle that comes out, and it was on Heroes Twitter.
I'm gonna have to look at this.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you because I don't know any characters from
spin up
StarCraft.
your warp drives. Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll be cool. Yeah. We shall see.
We shall see indeed. All right, loves. We'll see you next week. Have a great night. /moo, everybody.
/moo, guys. Have a good one.